Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, welcome. Now, I come to you guys in this video out of character, so I don't come to you guys in the video as Mega Crasher, but rather as the person behind that persona, Mega Crasher, known as Corey. And the reason for that is because I'm kind of saving what little energy I have left for my Subscriber Showdown Sundays video that I'm going to be working on right after this. But I kind of wanted to just bring this to your guys' attention and kind of wanted to weigh in it a little bit. So, Smogon has made another quick ban. I believe this is the third quick ban so far of Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. And they've quick banned Landorus-Incarnate from OU. Now, okay, this right here is kind of on the spot because this was something that I literally, I didn't have that much time to think about. I knew about it for a little bit, but I didn't really have that much time to actually think about what I wanted to say. So this here's going to be on the spot. I'm going to do the very best I can to kind of keep it wrapped up, short and simple, to the point, clean cut, whatever. The thing is that with Landorus-Incarnate being banned, what sort of impact is this going to have on the metagame? Now, if I'm going to be completely honest, is that I haven't really ever had an issue, per se, with Landorus-Incarnate. Now, of course, this is just from my personal experience, feel free to disagree. I'm always loving disagreements when they're civil, because it's it's the opportunity for me to learn from you guys, and vice versa, hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Take some good from both sides of the argument, is what I'm trying to say. So this right here, let's just go ahead and read up a little bit on why Landorus-Incarnate was just suddenly outright banned. Hi folks, after Power Construct, Zygarde Complete, and Aegislash, the OU Council has unanimously decided to ban Landorus-Incarnate from the Pokebank overused metagame. First and foremost, we recognize that Landorus-Incarnate is not invincible. With a double weakness to ice and an average speed of 101, fast Pokemon such as Greninja, Pheromosa, or Tapu Koko can outspeed it and easily revenge kill it without a problem. However, with an arsenal of powerful attacks composed of Earth Power, Focus Blast, Sludge Wave, Psychic, Hidden Power Ice, Knockoff, and Rock Slide, combined with amazing offensive stats, 125 attack, 115 special attack, and the ability Sheer Force that gives a recoil-free Life Orb boost, Landorus-Incarnate is absolutely unpredictable. Worst, it learns moves such as Calm Mind or Rock Polish, allowing it to fulfill a late-game sweeper role, in addition of being a terrifying strike force against any form of stall. Okay, so with that there being said, this right here is a very, very short, brief, kind of to-the-point explanation as to why they banned Landorus-Incarnate. Now, the thing is that it's really hard to argue against that. I mean, what they stated was fact, okay? I mean, the thing is that even though base 101 speed isn't that good, I mean, it's not a bad speed stat by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, hell no, man. I mean, the thing is you're always going to have one speed point more than the base 100 speed tier Pokemon, which puts you in a tier of its own. Now, of course, you ain't going to be outspeeding the likes of Garchomp anytime soon, or anything like that, but, still, it's this Pokemon is rather solid. I mean, for a sweeper, it does have some pretty workable defensive stats. I mean, it's got 89 HP, and it's got, I can't remember if it's 80 defense or 90 defense, or if it's 80 defense or 90 special defense, but I know it's 80 in one, 90 in the other, and stuff like that. But the fact is that this thing having a mixed offensive move pool and having mixed offensive stats, both being well over the 100 benchmark, that's actually pretty damn good. And the thing is that there is a lot of variety when it comes to running Landorus. So you can run a special Landorus-Incarnate, make it a all-out attacking set with Earth Power, Focus Blast, Sludge Wave, Psychic, Hidden Power, Knockoff for, utility, or you can run a specially based mixed attacking set with Rock Slide to take Pokemon that would otherwise counter it or check it really well, like the likes of Gyarados, Zapdos, turn them into 2-hit KOs or something like that. Knockoff is just annoying as hell to deal with because you lose the functionality of your item, and Knockoff is just a really, really solid move to have in general. I mean, if any Pokemon can learn Knockoff, use it. It is a solid move. It is a lifesaver. It is a game changer in most regard. Now, the only exception to Knockoff is the fact that you can't knock off Z Crystals and you can't knock off Mega Stones, and you also can't knock off the opponent's held item if they have the ability Sticky Hold. Now, of course, with all that being said, though, it's like, well, it has Sheer Force, but it has only 5 moves to take advantage of the Sheer Force ability. Now, for those of you guys that don't know what Sheer Force is if moves have a secondary effect, they take away those secondary effects in exchange for, I believe, 33% in the increase of power. I believe it's 33%. I could be wrong, could be 30%, but it's in that range, okay? Which is pretty damn good by itself, which would actually allow for you to run effectively an all-out attacking set without setup just fine, should your opponent's team be weakened, right? So, you know, that right there is pretty solid. You know, another option would be the likes of Rock Polish plus 3 attacks, you know, set up late game and just outspeed and sweep everything up. You could set up a Calm Mind setup set to break your stall, things like that. And I should also mention that because of Sheer Force, now, the thing is, I've always had this question for Game Freak, okay? I've always had this question. Was this some sort of glitch, or did they do this on purpose, where it's like, if a Sheer Force user was to have a Life Orb as their item, that it actually negates the negative recoil. Now, like I said, I'm not sure if this was a glitch or if this was intentional, but like, this right here just makes Sheer Force ridiculously powerful. I mean, it's not broken, but it's pretty damn close, I think. And given the fact that this thing has really good typing, it only has 2 weaknesses. I mean, ground and flying is a really solid typing, not just offensively, but defensively too. Because you're only weak to water and 4 times to ice. That's it. If you don't have any super effective, hard-hitting moves to take out the likes of Landorus-Incarnate, well, yeah, this thing's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. Now, of course, there is always going to be argument against why Landorus-Incarnate should not be banned, or I should say in this situation, arguments against why it is banned. Now, I'm going to go over the reasons why I don't think it should have been banned, and why it shouldn't have been banned from a professional standpoint, which I guess you could say is kind of one and the same, so sorry about that. So, why I don't think it should have been banned is because of the fact that, okay, first off, we have a new generation chock full of new threats, such as the Ultra Beast, okay? For example, how about Pheromosa? Pheromosa could easily outspeed and knock this thing out with an Ice Beam. And I've actually seen some discussions on, like, Facebook groups when it comes to Landorus-Incarnate, you know, having their gripes and complaints about why is it that Landorus-Incarnate got quick banned, but not the likes of Pheromosa and stuff like that. The thing of it is from my honest opinion, I can't tell you. I honestly cannot tell you. But the thing is that there's a lot of ways that you can check and maybe even effectively counter this thing. Because, okay, check me out on this. First off, faster Pokemon naturally outspeed this thing. Pokemon like Greninja. Yeah, see Pheromosa right there. Like, I actually just ended up talking about that, and I forgot that Pheromosa was actually mentioned here, so that's my bad. I'm sorry about that. You also got Tapu Koko, you got Greninja. And the thing is that you often don't see a Scarfed Landorus-Incarnate, because I kind of feel like that would be a little bit of a waste. But then again, you know what? It wouldn't be a stretch to have a Scarf on Landorus-Incarnate, because, hey, element of surprise, man. I always consider the element of surprise to be an advantage by default in battle, because you threw your opponent off and they potentially don't know what the hell to do. But with this right here, you know, I'm just thinking, it's like, okay, so you got faster Pokemon that can outright counter, or not, well, I shouldn't say counter, because, okay, the definitions of counters and checks are a little bit different when it comes to Smogon. So, the definition in terms of Smogon when it comes to a counter is a Pokemon that can repeatedly switch in, and basically, to make a long story short, that Pokemon has that other Pokemon in question's number. No questions about it. Now, of course, a check is a Pokemon that can, in fact, beat this Pokemon 1 vs. 1. It cannot switch into repeated abuse from this Pokemon. Because even from resisted hits from Landorus-Incarnate, this thing still hits bloody hard. Like, oh my god. I mean, even unaware users have a real tough time breaking this thing down. or muscling past its raw, unmitigated power. But of course, anyways, getting back on track up in this. So, first off, Hyper Offense. Hyper Offense is chock full of fast Pokemon. Like, you know, for example, it's like Greninja, Pheromosa, Tapu Koko, you know, any Scarfed variants that could switch in, eat up a hit, and wham, take it out. Like, for example, Scarfed Tapu Lele. Like, for example, if you were to make a prediction, like, say if you were against a Landorus and it was to go for a Psychic or something like that, and you were against, like, a Pheromosa or whatever. So, say, for example, you are a Scarfed Landorus, and you end up trying to hit Pheromosa for a Psychic because it lacks the likes of Ice Beam, for example, and you can telegraph that, you switch your Tapu Lele in, bam! Knock it out. The point I'm trying to make is that any Pokemon that may not be able to outspeed it naturally can outspeed it potentially with a Scarf. That is, if Landorus-Incarnate A isn't Scarfed himself, or B, and this is especially scary, the fact that it didn't set up a Rock Polish on you already. Now, the thing is that this thing can also run any hidden power that it likes. Hidden power Ice, hidden power Water. I mean, it can also run hidden power Flying because it lacks Flying type stab, but not that it needs Flying type stab. Oh, hell no. Like, it's got all the coverage it needs right here. Earth power just completely destroys anything that is super effective against it because, like, it's sheer force, stab, life orb boosted, so it gets boosted up to a ridiculously, insanely high power. You got Focus Blast to take care of the likes of Tyranitar, Bisharp, like, pretty much, like, Focus Blast will nail anything that Earth Power can. Sludge Wave, Psychic, you know, things like that. Now, of course, there are some Pokemon that can, in fact, counter this thing. For example, we have Cresselia and Mega Latias that is mentioned here. Now, I should also make a mention to Special Defensive Skarmory and Special Defensive Celesteela, because the thing is that both of them are Steel Flying types. Earth Power is ineffective against them. Focus Blast, while it may not be stab, could still hit them for neutral damage, given the fact that it's also Life Orb and Sheer Force boosted. However, it does have a chance to miss. I just want to put that out there. You know, like, you have Pokemon that are able to switch in comfortably on these attacks if you know how to play around Landorus, and you could potentially take this thing out. You could potentially counter it, you know what I'm saying? Or check it effectively. Like, Hyper Offense is the best option when it comes to checking / countering Landorus-Incarnate. Now, you also got phasing Pokemon, you know, like, you got Pokemon with Roar, Dragon Tail, Haze, Circle Throw, things like that. Like, if this Pokemon sets up on you and you know for a fact that you could be in trouble, what you could do, okay, and this right here could really, really mess with your opponents. Like, for example, you got Pyukumuku, okay? Pyukumuku, oh my god. That Pokemon is so ridiculous, it's hilarious, and it's good, okay? Like, it's a sea cucumber that can't attack you for shit, but it's got so much utility that it's not even funny. The thing is Psych Up, so if you were to run a Special Defensive Pyukumuku, which could effectively be a counter, like, the thing is, I don't have damage calculations right off the top of my head, so, you know, I kind of apologize if I kind of screw anything up here, but say Pyukumuku, like, you could have Pokemon with Psych Up and copy the stat changes, right? And that right there could also kind of mess with the opponents because it's like, well, this Pokemon is stealing my stats. Like, I don't know what to do. It's like, I can't break past this thing because not only did the stats get increased, but hey, Pyukumuku actually has Unaware, which means by default, it's not going to recognize those stat changes. So it could switch in on like a +2 Calm Mind or whatever, steal those stat boosts, and actually benefit from the stat boosts not only through Baton Pass, but through sheer tankiness as well. So that right there is just kind of like an example right there of a counter right off the bat that you might not expect to have in your back pocket. Now, my overall verdict, do I agree with this Landorus-Incarnate ban? I agree with the fact that, you know, it eventually should be banned. I mean, the thing is, I haven't really played it in this generation, so you know what, to be quite honest with you, I can't really come up with a full 100% accurate conclusion when it comes to having a proper verdict as to whether it should be banned or not. But the thing is it was banned last generation for the same reasons and the generation before that because it's just ridiculously powerful. But I personally think that it should have had a little more breathing room in the OU tier, and it should have had some more play and more practice and all that stuff. I think that with Pokemon Sun and Moon still being relatively fresh and brand new for a metagame, I think that perhaps Landorus-Incarnate should maybe have stuck around for a little bit longer, because it stuck around for quite a bit in the X and Y metagame. I mean, it took, what did it take? It took quite a while. Okay, it took over a year before Smogon actually suspect tested Landorus-Incarnate. So I'm thinking that if worse comes to worse, they should have actually suspect tested Landorus to begin with. That way you could actually hear from the community themselves as to see what they think, right? Now, of course, that's just my opinion. So take this for what you will. Take this with a pinch of salt. I'm gonna end the video off right here. I don't really know what else to say. You know, let me know in the comments section down below what you guys think. I'll gladly leave a link so that way you guys can kind of read this for yourself and all that stuff. And I just kind of wanted to point out here real quick that we do have some damage calculations when it comes to just the overall sheer power, the raw unmitigated power of Landorus-Incarnate when it comes to sheer force boosted shenanigans, all that stuff. Like, it is just... It's crazy, man. It is absolutely crazy. So, yeah, I mean, whew, wow. Hot damn. Like, this is insane. Okay, we have, like, a lot of counter, like, a lot of, like, damage calculations that just, it makes your head spin, because you got all these facts right here. Like, damage calculations don't lie, man. I just want to say this. Now, the thing is like this right here measures in offensive damage when it comes to Landorus, and this right here measures in its abilities to tank hits. Like, look at this. Like, you have a 252 attack Azumarill with an Aqua Jet that fails to one-hit KO Landorus unless there's rocks on the field, and even still, it's kind of like a high roll, whatever. You got Iron Head, you got Guard Chomp, Mega Scissor, Bullet Punch, Tapu Lele Psychic. Like, oh my god. Are you kidding me? So Tapu Lele Psychic Terrain Boosted Psychic actually doesn't even take out Landorus. Diddly-dee! Well, holy shit, man. That's insane. And Tapu Fini's Surf at full range doesn't even have enough power to comfortably one-hit KO it 100% of the time. And even in Power Ice Zapdos fails to one-hit KO it too. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I gotta say. So I want to say thank you all very much for watching this video. Sorry if it was a little bit longer than usual. Like I said, I didn't exactly prepare for a video like this, and you guys know me by now. When I'm not prepared, it gets a bit rambly. So I hope you guys enjoy this video regardless. And if you did, make sure you slap a like on it. Nothing really too special about this video. This was meant to be just an announcement video, but I kind of turned it into a full-blown discussion, didn't I? So, let's see if we can aim for a modest 15 likes. I mean, you know, let's do it light today. Let's do it light. I mean, today's kind of feeling like one of them days, but don't worry though, ladies and gentlemen, because next upload is going to be 100% intense, 100% hype, and also 100% in character too. So, I want to say thank you all very much for watching this video. You know, rate, comment, subscribe, share the video, share the channel, you know, whatever. It all helps. Every single little bit of it helps. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next upload. Take care.